In the previous session, we have seen the basic elements of a structure. As you know, structure is a user-defined data type. Within the structure, we are combining data members, we are combining different types of data elements together. That means whatever the data type we have, it may be integer, float, character, double, short, anything can be string, anything can be combined. The immediate question, in the case of arrays, we can combine only similar data elements. Similar data elements. If we write integer a of 10, a is an array of type integer and it can store 10 integer values. That's it. Whereas structure is concerned, structure is going to combine different types of data elements together. Let us go through one more example called employee. How to declare a structure employee? Struct is a keyword. EMP is a structure name. Integer employee number. Character employee name. Size may be your own choice. Integer employee salary, or you may declare float also. Structure need to be ends with a semicolon. You can have an option what you call a structure variable. You can directly. Even one more option is also available. Structure may be declared before the main function or even the main function. You can declare structure here also. While executing, you can check out, no problem. So how to read the structure elements? E dot employee number, E dot employee name, E dot salary. In the case of scanf, what we are doing? Percentage D, percentage yes, and percentage D, ampersand E dot employee number, E dot employee name, and E is a structure variable, E dot salary. That's it. So this is the information related to the structure. For example, how to execute this. Let us go through one example, then move on to the next component. Here I'm declaring a structure, struct employee. Structure need to be opened and closed, ends with a semicolon. Here what we have, integer employee number, character employee name of 10, integer salary. You can declare a structure variable here, or you may write a structure variable here. So printf \n, enter, it's a new character, enter employee number, name, and salary. Employee number, name, and salary. You have to read it. Percentage D, percentage yes, percentage D, ampersand, E dot ENO, E dot E name, employee name, ampersand, E dot salary. I want to print the same. Printf \n, given employee details, or given employee details, or printf employee number is equal to percentage D, employee name is equal to percentage yes, employee salary is equal to percentage D. What are the variables? E dot, E number, E dot, E name, not comma, E dot, employee name, and E dot salary. That's it. See, this is the information related to a single employee information. Enter employee number, name, and salary, roll number 1 or employee number 1, Ramu, 10,000. See this, given employee details are employee number is equal to 1, employee name is equal to Ramu, employee salary is equal to 10,000. For example, I want to make n number of employees. How? I told you yesterday. If you want to make n number of employees, we don't know how many employees we have. That's why what we require n. You have to read the value of n. N may be 3, 5, 7, even 10. When the array size, array structure, array size may be 10, 20, that is our wish. For example, how to declare it? Struct, EMP, everything is common. Here, you need to mention the size, E of 10. That means it is an array which allows 10 records, which allows 10 variable, 10 structure elements. So here, if you take n value, n may be 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 10. In order to reduce the number of variables, we are using array. Okay, now how to declare it? See, what we require? We require two variables. In the case of integer main function n, for loop we require a variable I. I'm asking you printf \n, enter the size, or how many employee records do you want to enter? You need to read it in the terms of scanf, %d, %n. Here, printf, enter the records, enter %d records. What is %d? N. That means if the given n value is equal to 4, it displays enter 4 records. It is not a single. That's why I'm taking a for loop. For I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, scanf, %d, %s, %d, ampersand. What is employee structure? E. That is E of I. What is E of I? E of 0. What is E of 0? Array starts with 0. E of I dot ENO. E of I dot ename, employee name, ampersand, E of I dot salary. The same thing will be executed for output also. Listen. In this case, what we are doing? We are doing array. That is E of 10. Here, I am writing two variables, integer n, I. Printf, how many employee details you want to enter. You have to read it. Scanf, %d, ampersand n. Now, printf, enter percentage d employee details. What is percentage d here? N. Print for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, you have to read it. Scanf percentage d is employee number, percentage s is employee name, e of I. For example, here it is an integer variable. That's why it includes ampersand. E of I dot envo, E of I dot ename, E of I dot salary. Once it is over, printf backslash n, the given employee details or backslash n again. Then only we can get the new line. Without for loop, you may get garbage value. You may get garbage value. That's why we are taking for loop again. For I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, same will be printed. Printf backslash n, employee number is equal to percentage d, employee name is equal to percentage s, employee salary is equal to percentage d. What are the variables? It is array. So E of I dot envo, employee number, E of I dot ename, E of I dot salary. So everything will be removed. So we can execute the program. How many employee details you want to enter? I want to enter 4 employee details. Enter. Roll number 1, Ram, 4,560. Number 2, Sai, 2. 3, Ras, 4. See this? This is the information. Employee number is equal to 1. Employee name is equal to Ram. Salary. That means this is the program execution related with. This is the program execution related with employee array. In the case of normal components, we require only one variable for a single record. Whereas in the case of 3 records, E1, E2, E3 or S1, S2, S3. Whereas array is considered, we have less number of variables needed. Next one, nested structures. A structure that exists within another structure. A structure exists, another structure is said to be a nested structure. How? For example, consider a student structure. Struct student integer student number character student name. Now we have a date of birth. Tell me. Date of birth. What date of birth includes? Date of birth includes day, month, and year. So, date of birth can be defined as a structure again. Struct, DOB. What it includes? Integer, day, character, month of 3, it may be Jan, January, February, March, etc. Integer, year. Integer, year. Okay. I told you every structure need to be ended with a semicolon. Consider this is a student structure, yes. Here I am taking this is a DB. DOB is the inner structure. Student is outer structure. Excuse me. DOB is inner structure. Student is outer structure. What student contains? Student number, student name, and date of birth. Date of birth is not a single structure element, it is another structure. What it contains, what date of birth contains? It contains day, month, and year. Day, month, year. For example, if a student, roll number 1, Ramu, date of birth, for example, 17 August 1979. See, for every student, we have the same. Sai, for example, 20 January 2004. Something like this. Number 3, Raja, 10 February 2003. Something like this. So, if you want to read this kind of information, this is another structure. If a structure which contains another structure is called as a nested structure. I told you in the case of looping also. If a loop, if statement that exists, another if statement is said to be nested if. An if statement that exists within another if is called as nested if. Let us how to extract the information. See, this is, you can directly, if you write a structure variable yes, you can access yes dot SNO, yes dot SName for, you can read it or print it. But how for this day, yes is a structure variable. Within the structure, we have another structure. What is that variable? DB. Within that, we have day. Got it? See, yes is a structure, outer. Within the structure, we have DB, date of birth. Within the date of birth, we have day. That's it. Yes dot DB dot month, because it's a string. Yes dot DB dot year. See this. This is the way how we are reading the data in the terms of nested structure. Let us execute one program. I'm taking a student structure, struct student, that need to be opened and closed, and the variable name is, yes, integer, student number, character, student name of 10. Again, I'm taking structure, struct DOB, that should be opened and closed, integer, day, character, month of 3, integer, year. What is the structure name? Date of birth, DB. So how can you access day? Yes dot DB dot day. Dot is an operator. Yes dot DB dot month. Yes dot DB dot year. If it is a student number, how you can directly access? Yes dot SNO. Okay. Printf, enter student number, name, and date of birth. You have to read it. How? Percentage D is a student number. Percentage S is a student name. Percentage D is date of birth day. Percentage S, date of birth month. Percentage D, it's a date of birth year. S dot SNO, ampersand, because it is a integer value. S dot SNO, S dot SName, and then S dot, what is the date of birth? DB dot day, S dot DB dot month, S dot DB dot year. That's it. So if you want to access the nested structure, what we require? First outer structure name, then interstructure name, and then variable. Here we can print the same. Printf given student details are. Printf \n SNO is equal to student number is equal to percentage D. Yes name is equal to percentage yes. DOB is equal to percentage D hyphen percentage yes hyphen percentage D. That is my format, no problem. You can write anyway. Yes dot SNO, yes dot SName, yes dot DB dot day, yes dot DB dot month, yes dot DB dot year. That's it. Enter the student number, name, and DOB. Number 1, Ramu, 17 August 1979. Got it? Student number is equal to 1. Student name is equal to Ramu. Date of birth is equal to 17th August 1979. See, you can have 3 students information nest or any number of students information in the terms of array. But the thing is, a structure exists within another structure is called as nested structure. Okay, we have one more point. See, in the case of a structure, if you write integer student number, it requires 2 bytes. character, student name, that is of 10 bytes, integer, total marks, it requires 2 bytes, float, percentage, it requires 4 bytes. The total value is 10 plus 2 plus 2, 14 plus 4, that is equal to total memory, 18 bytes will be allocated in the memory. We have another element called a union. Union, structures and unions, and the topic is structures and unions. If we have the same type of variable in the union, how much memory is needed normally? 18 bytes. So we require 2, 10, 2, and 14. This is 18, but in the case of union, 18 bytes will not be allocated. It is going to allocate maximum variable memory. That is 10 bytes are allocated. What is the difference between structure and union? In the case of a structure, every variable will get the memory area. Memory will be allocated for each and every variable within the structure. And the keyword struct can be used. Whereas union is concerned, we are using a keyword called a union. Everything is same. Everything is same. But the thing is, but that is not visible also. So in the case of a union, maximum amount of memory will be allocated rather than allocating for all the data variables. So in the case of a structure, memory 18 bytes will be allocated. And you tell me, 18 bytes are allocated, you can have the capability to access everything at a time. All variables can be accessed at a time, isn't it? Whereas you're not allocating the memory, that means the system allocates maximum amount of size, that is 10 bytes will be allocated. You tell me, is it possible for you to access all the variables at a time? In the case of union, no. In the case of union, it is not at all possible for you to access all the variables at a time, whereas structure is concerned, all the variables can be accessed. Okay. So this is the difference between structures and unions. And even we have some other programs also. I will send you after our classes. Once our classes are over, topic is over, then I will give you worksheets for every week. You have to complete minimum of, for example, around 400 to 500 programs you have to execute. Okay, write a program to accept the player details and display them back using structures. See this. I told you. Okay, this is, I will send you everything. See this structure. I told you structure may be written outside, before the main function, or even within the main function. You can write struct player PL, or you can keep PL before the semicolon in a structure. Here, if you are working with the Turbo C language, we have an option called a clear screen. You have to clear the screen. Enter the player number. See, player structure consists of player number, player name, age. See, this is it. And then write a program to find the total, average, remarks of the students, and number of students passed and failed in given a set. See this, I and row. There are two variables. Struct student number name, marks in 3 subjects, M1, M2, M3. See, this is called as a structure initialization. There are two options. In the case of arrays also, I told you, you can read the array or initialization of array. Integer a of 5 is equal to, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you may read variables. So there are two options, you can read or initialize. Here you can read, enter 5 students information by taking n value for I is equal to 0, I is less than n, I plus plus, scanf. Okay, everything. Otherwise, initially total of 5 is an array initialization, grade of 5 because we have 5 students, number of pass, number of failures, average. So I'm taking this. So for loop, every time, whenever total gets, for I is equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus, every time I need to calculate S1 of I. What is S1? First to student information. Marks M1, marks M2, marks M3. Then average is equal to total of I by 3. What is total of I? Total of 0. What is total of 0? First student marks. If it is greater than or equal to 35, M2 is greater than or equal to 35, then only he will be passed. Then only he will be entered into the loop. Average is greater than 80, A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade, E grade. Otherwise, he may be failed. If E is equal to F, automatically failure. Otherwise, pass. Okay. This is the way you can write.